Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to our December 3rd Explore Academy Rio Rancho board meeting. And we have a mixed group of people online and in person right now today. So we'll start with the people that are online to introduce themselves, and then we'll go to do a roll call. Chris, we'll start with you.
Okay, Chris Kenworthy, Vice Chair.
Skip Backey, Secretary.
Kathy Garden, Board Member.
Michael Mezejewski, Governing Chair. And also in attendance is Jacqueline Bogue, present here, our Head Administrator, and Karen Warner, virtual as well. So thank you very much all for attending. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and I don't see anybody for public comment, so we can move straight into our approval of the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to review, and do we have a motion to approve? I will make the motion to approve, and we'll look for a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And same for our approval of the minutes from our November 24th special meeting. If we have an approval of minutes from that meeting. Motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the special meeting on November 24th.
I will second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Moving straight into our finance report, as grim as it might be. Amber?
Hi, Amber.
But I'm trying to promote Amber, and also, if you don't mind, Chair Mizujewski, I would like to promote Hannah Force Lang at the same time, because we'll be covering her during this section.
Very good. Thank you.
Hey, Amber.
Oh. Okay. Let me share real quick.
From Alliot. Starting this month, they started.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So these reports are mainly from October, since the meeting got moved and we didn't really have enough time to reconcile and get November set up in time to send out reports for this meeting. So the first report is your revenues report. The first column is the description of each fund, what we have budgeted in each one of those funds, what we've actually received as of October 31st, and then what's still available to be received by June 30th. One thing to point out is you did get your first payment of SB9 in November. You won't see it on here since these are from October, but just wanted to let you know that those funds are starting to come in. It was about $1,400. Usually the big payments will come December, January, and then May and June. So just so you know, you'll see small payments coming and then larger ones around those months.
And where you say available year to date, but that's projected, that's not actual, correct?
Sorry, say that one more time.
The column that you have that says available year to date, that's not actual available money at this point. It's what foreseen to be available, so it's projected.
So it's your budget minus the actual what you received. So for SB9, you were expected to receive 203,000. You just started receiving them, so I don't know if that will fully come in, but that was the expectation. And for the NM ski grant, you have 401,000. If you spend all those monies this year in expenditures, we'll draw that down, and then you would get those funds. But if you don't spend it, you don't receive that money. So the only one that comes monthly is your SCG, pretty much.
Okay. Okay, any questions?
No.
Okay, so the next is your expenditure report, and this one goes over all the details of each fund. I'll just scroll through it. I know there's, you would like to see these reports with the budget that you will get, but unfortunately, until PED sends out that memo, we can't create bars without that memo. So in your available column, this 2 million, sorry, this 2.6 million, that's what's available. I do want to note all your lease is still encumbered in the operational. Once you get your lease assistance award, we can pull that out. But until that, you don't really want to have negative funds. So that's sitting in here. With all the changes with the calendar and not meeting 40-day and then negative carryover, this number should be more towards 3.1 million. But again, you have about 330 in lease assistance that should get taken out once those awards come out. And then all your other additional funds, go scroll through. Activity fund, that's pretty much haven't been touched. Most of your other funds are fully either spent or encumbered. The only ones is, again, the kitchen grant and your SB9. Once you start, again, getting more funds, you can start probably using SB9 for maintenance and building, student technology, that kind of stuff. And next is your PO report. So these are all your purchase orders for the year that are still open. This remaining last column remaining encumbrance, that's showing how much is still open on each PO. And then this is your new rent, just this last one. And then next you have your bank activity report. So this is for the month of October, showing all your deposits and withdrawals. Let me know if you have any questions. And deposits again were higher this month, mostly due to your higher SEG at the moment. And then next you have your bank reconciliation report. So you ended the month October at 1 million after outstanding checks.
That's what's in the bank currently.
I could tell you like today, because this was as of October. I haven't reconciled November. I'm still waiting on a couple deposits on how to code those.
Okay.
I could also tell you that too, Chris.
What do you got?
Well, we're on, everybody in this room is looking at my computer, but give me a second.
And then Amber, while Jackie does that, help me understand why we can't do bars for like obviously incorrect stuff, like where there's double transportation lines within the budget and stuff like that. Is there a
I mean,
reason
you can do
that
a cleanup bar and move it to a line, but we can't adjust your SEG number. That's given by PD, the state, if we project it wrong and you forget to change it later on in the year, you're going to get a finding for incorrect budget.
Okay, for whatever reason.
PD won't even
There we go.
approve a bar without an award letter or memo. But again, we could do bars to move it to a specific line item, so you just know, like, you can't touch that line item. And that was mainly where, let's see. think it's this other charges. That was a big chunk where we had originally did one cleanup bar.
Okay.
But I just didn't want to do too much because we're gonna have to do a lot of bars. And it's just a lot if you keep touching a bunch of lines every time.
So really, we have our official budget that the state has. And then, like I had asked, and you sent over kind of a more realistic version that we and Jackie can use to decision off of.
Right, yeah. And that I just cleaned out as many lines as I could. And again, that's just estimated. We don't know what the final unit value will be, so hopefully that increases and it won't be such a large or as high of a decrease coming, but we won't know that. I think they have until January 31st to issue that, so that memo could not come till like February.
Okay. And then the ACES PO, that's the main ALIOP contract.
This 117?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think we already adjusted
Make sure you
that
took it
one.
down. Chris, your balance in the bank is 1,402,242.25.
All right. Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate it.
I've been teaching 7th grade, so I wanted to make sure I said all the place values.
I just literally walked out of doing linear equations. So I hear you.
Yeah.
So moving on, Amber.
Sorry?
I said you can move on.
Okay.
Oh, I think you guys do have to.
So that's the end of the actual financial reports, and then we just have some bars. So this one was approved on the 24th.
We don't see your screen right now. I don't know why.
Oh, we do here, but
I see it.
you might have to maximize Zoom again there, Jackie.
We are, yeah. What did I do?
I don't know, but it's displayed by Amber. I can see it.
Well, I'll just explain real quick. Then bar 9I is already approved. We just haven't submitted it to PED yet. We're waiting on the titles for the buses to be fixed. So that's still not fully submitted to PED.
And if I may, Amber, just interject, Lisa, update for the board. Lisa emailed me today about the fact that she's already heard from the company and just an update that they are working on changing those titles. And we have a letter, I think I shared with you via email about them changing the title to your school name and address. And that's what's going to hold this up until we have that done. I think it's been communicated, but just for the record, we're waiting until the titles are correct, even though they are already using those buses for count day. And once we have the corrected titles, then we can submit it. So just that also means that we won't get the additional funding from PED for the additional rental fee until that's submitted. So Lisa's also advised the Carrera not to start billing for those new buses until we're able to submit the bar so that you get the money to cover the cost. So it is being worked on, and Lisa even had an update today, and I asked her if I could just share it at the board meeting instead of sending her yet another email about it, but she's on it. So sure we'll get that taken care of as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
So bar 10I, this is an increased bar to budget additional funds for your food services. So it's for $11,177. Then bar 11I, sorry. Yeah, is also for food services. This is for fees collected for snacks. So it's for 1,380. And then 12I is for the universal free meals to budget for revenue received, $1,256. And that's the last bar. And just so you know, your food service looks like it should wash out, or you might actually be making some additional funds
We should be.
there.
Okay. Thank you. So if there aren't any other questions for Amber, we will take a motion to approve the financial report and the bars as presented.
Jackie did his part.
Mhm.
I'll move to approve the financial report and the bars as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amber.
Of course.
Just before Amber goes, Amber, I don't know if it's you or if it's Hannah or Jackie, but we had on the agenda just an audit status update. I know we can't share any audit details, but just I don't think we know though about when the next meeting will occur or if one has been scheduled.
We haven't heard.
No, we haven't heard anything. I did reach out Monday to both, I did send an email to Josh and to Sheila to see if we have any idea. She was still waiting on some information. Hopefully next week was her plan. I was gonna I meant to shoot another email. I was subbing for a good portion of the day. To her again, she mentioned she was going to get some documents back over to us. I haven't seen anything yet. It's Wednesday. And I was going to also add Hannah to that email, just so we could hopefully get that ball rolling. Everything does have to be submitted. Deadline is 12/15. I did inform Sheila that the 15th and the 16th I will be unavailable. So really next week is kind of it. So fingers crossed we can get a date put on the books. As of this point, Josh, everything I've been getting has been he's out of office. And so again, through discussion, don't know if we need Josh to be in attendance or if we can handle it and move forward because all the information to my knowledge has been given.
Yeah, Jackie, just so you know, board members, that there was a death in the family for Josh, so that's why you're getting those messages. But I do know he is working because he works with another school that I help support. He is checking email, but he does have that death
Okay.
that happened last Friday. But I think you're right. And board members, I would underscore what Jackie just said, that at this point, if we have any questions for Josh or even for Amber for that matter, as we transition, which is the next topic, we probably can just work through Jackie and Hannah. And then if there are questions for Axiom or the Vigil group, of course, then reach out. Jackie or Hannah could then reach out. So I think that's exactly right. But just wanted it noted what's happening with the audit. Thanks. Thanks, Amber. Sorry, I wasn't sure what we needed. So thank you
Yeah, no
for sticking
problem.
around. Okay.
But yeah, they for sure will reach out probably next week.
Thank you.
Karen, before you could let Amber go, did you want to just jump to 6C as far as the school calendar? So this way she can.
Oh, I don't know if Jackie, do we need Amber for the calendar discussion or what's happening with that?
I think the only thing that Amber could hopefully solidify is, so board members, I think majority of you guys know, because we talked about it literally last week, all the days.
Last meeting.
We are going to be in a deficit. It looks like for some reason 12/29 was earmarked as a school day, and as you know, 12/29 is generally not a school day for most students. So that now puts us in a bit of another deficit bind. Looking at, do we want to add a day at the end, which would be June 4th? My question was, though, how much money would that day generate to the bottom line if we did add a day? I wanted to know that before we did say, hey, community families. We're adding a day into June. As we know, touching summer is a bit contentious when you look at that in the Rio Rancho community, or I think in any community. So I don't know if, Amber, if you had like a solid number, like one more day. I know we said it was somewhere in the ballpark of,
30,000.
yeah, like 30, maybe, top 30.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the email. I think I gave you,
I want to say I wrote it down. I have notes.
oh, I think I found it. It was about 28,000.
Yep. Yeah,
But you would only be able to add half a day for certain grades. I mean, you could do the full, but you won't get funding, so
correct.
it won't be worth it.
So K5, it would only be half day, so 4 hours. Sixth grade, it doesn't make any impact because we've already maximized all of sixth grade. And seventh and eighth, it would be a full day. So to do June 4th, I mean, and how do I logistically, yeah. So that was kind of my pickle, $28,000. $28,000, I understand, is $28,000. It's not impactful for all students. It's like, cool, K5s show up for 4 hours. Sixth grade, I don't need you on campus. Seventh and eighth grade, please show up for a full day. It's a very weird situation. Yeah.
I think even though you wouldn't get the extra funding, wouldn't you make it a school day for everybody?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, right? Because that would just be weird. June 4th, I realize that does impact,
There's no other day that you can.
No, I looked at like, could we do like March 30th? And we met with Lorenzo, and like my idea was to, like, let's add a day in March and make it testing for like, especially all the kiddos that do have to test. That it doesn't work because you can't go a 5-day. The other option is, do we add a day during spring break? So yeah, that's where we're at. It's,
So during
Already.
the last kind of finance committee and then follow-on emails, is the last email that I've got here from Amber shows the operational budget short about 212,000. Is that still the most accurate number that you've gotten, Jackie?
I believe so, yes. That's where I'm sitting.
Or not accurate, but
A ballpark,
potentially realistic. Yeah.
yes.
So 28,000 is really a drop in the bucket in the full.
In the grand scheme of
picture.
things. It doesn't fix my problem, and it might give me more problems.
I see.
That's where I'm kind of like, that's where my mind has been, and I've been trying to be level-headed and not emotionally upset about this situation, to be very honest, because yet here we are again, year 3, with very similar situations.
Yeah.
And I think, Chris, to answer your question and the rest of the board, I was really hoping after we met on last Monday that I was going to go into a audit meeting and I was going to have a solid idea as to what it looked like, what the damage was, and how can we, move forward. And like I know we have these pockets of money embedded in our budget. Like the emergency fund, that $300,000, would that assist? Sure, maybe, but now here's the other problem. We have to buy furniture for a brand new building. We got the SB9 money, which is great, because now the fencing and stuff and some of the stuff we're going to be purchasing for the property, that will hopefully take some of it off the plate. I don't want to get into a situation where it feels like we constantly are like, in the whole using Peter to pay Paul type situation, right? So it is a bit of frustration. Like I said, I'm trying to be very logical about it and not get emotional about it, because it's happening. It's happening too often, and I don't know why. So
Meaning axioms.
that's where I'm at, I guess. I don't have
So,
a clear answer.
so I guess I have a question as to how late in the year can you make a calendar change? Anytime? I don't know the answer to this question.
I would think so, but I'm not too sure either. I don't know if there's a deadline.
Keep the 28,000
Yeah.
Because I guess you don't have to decide today is the
On
bottom line, and,
public-
we could have more discussion uh, in the future or later, even tonight. But it just doesn't sound like there's
Right.
much other than the amount from Amber that we need, and so maybe uh,
Yeah, well,
yeah, I'm just
we'll
proposing we
continue
could.
on. We'll finish up with the finance portion, and then we'll swing around back on that. Like, I agree with you, Karen, that we really can't we don't need to make a definitive answer tonight, so.
Right.
Can I maybe ask that, Amber, could we inquire, is there a hard deadline that Lorenzo has to know if the board is going to approve a change or an addition of a day?
I can ask him if there's like a deadline and
And
when.
maybe just say that we still have not had our final exit audit, so we don't, like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know the damage, and do I create more waves for 28,000 is really where I'm trying to wrap my head around. And like, let's say there's a long shot where maybe I'm not going to be in that big of a deficit because there's a miracle or something, or maybe there's numbers that I don't know. I don't know. And I feel like until I know black and white, it's really hard to say like, hey, let's move forward on this without having all the full information. That's where I've been kind of chewing.
Yeah.
And if he's okay to wait and we don't have to have it like by, January 1st, then by all means, we do have some time. If it does have to be done before the first of the year, then of course we will have to make a decision.
Yeah, and so I'm sure she's not going to reach that person today. So if that happens, that Lorenzo needs something at a certain time, we'd have to do a special board meeting. But Amber, if you could find that out, that'd be great.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. So now we can say goodnight to Amber.
Good night, Amber.
Let's see. Get Amber's. So then, I guess, Chair, do you want me to explain or introduce Hannah, or
Yes,
how
if
would you
could.
like to proceed?
Yeah, since we're all separated, so.
Yeah, so I think we've discussed in the past, well, actually, I know we have, back in the beginning where we had the vehicle group helping us to transition away from Axiom and set up Aptifund and that sort of thing, with the goal of eventually having our own folks working for your school and not through a bigger corporation like Axiom or the vehicle group or others. And so this is Hannah Force Lang, and she's a licensed school business official in New Mexico who has been working alongside of all of us to try to get her arms around all things finance and budget for your school. And I will let Hannah introduce herself a little bit, but the reason I asked for her to come and be introduced is not only so you could meet her, but also because as we make the transition, we will need to notify PED of uh, designating her as a school business official for your school. So, Hannah, why don't you introduce yourself first, and then I'll tell the board a little bit more about next steps.
Okay, sounds great. Hi, everybody. My name's Hannah Forsling. I've been in education for about 18 years. I absolutely have a huge passion for it and so excited to be working with Explore. I've been coming alongside Jackie and the rest of the Alliop team, just trying to make sense of some things that I know has been confusing, and I know there's been a lot of confusion for you guys as well. So I'm really going to be working hard, and I've been digging in to try and see where those discrepancies are, so we can make sure that there's a clarity in the future, and that everything is going the way that it should be and up to standard. So I'm really excited to meet you all and to be working with you, and look forward to doing a presentation for you guys next month.
Great. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
So
you, Hannah.
certainly if anyone has questions, I would want you to ask Hannah, but I do know that she contacted Mike and Chris as your finance committee members to set up a meeting here, hopefully before the holiday break, to discuss her presentations and what you'd like to see and what she wants to bring to the table, and then also try to set up a schedule for a finance committee meeting. So that email went out from her today. So just letting the rest of the board know that that's kind of what has already been happening. And what we need to do is I do need a vote to designate Hannah as a school business official so that I can submit the paperwork to CSD to make that change, because your business official is part of your contracted documents. You had to submit a school business official license when we did your original contract. With Katie, we had to change it to Justine, and now we'll have to change it again. So we are going to need a vote to do that. And then I will work with Hannah to collect all the paperwork we need in support of that. Just like a governing board change, this has to be submitted. So they present it to the PEC on their consent agenda, and they've just been notified. And then Hannah gets added to all the school business official lists to make sure she gets the correspondence she needs for your school, et cetera, et cetera. So with that, my ask would be to approve, designate Hannah as your school business official. But certainly we stand here for questions if you have any.
I just have one question before we get into the vote. Do we need to make the motion as far as Hannah with Alliop? Because we're,
Good point. Um, I think either way, however you want to word it is fine. It doesn't matter what organization you use, you do have to designate a specific person. So even if it's Alliop, via Alliop is fine. But either way, her personal information is what's going to be submitted because it's her license.
okay,
And I had something that went through my head and I forgot. Sorry.
that's okay. I'll make the
Mm,
motion to approve Hannah Force Lang with Alliop as our school business official.
I'll second.
Second. Skip beat me to it.
I did that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I remembered what I was what flashed through my head a minute ago. I'm going to blame my old age, but it was that we have already, there's already been discussion with Mike Vigil at the Vigil Group about ending their contract. As you recall, when we signed the contract, it was through sometime in January, I think. But there's already been conversation with Mike Vigil to end that contract a bit early. It's mutually agreeable, and a notice of cancellation has already been provided. Because the amount was low enough, it didn't need a board vote, but it has been signed by Jackie and Chair Berzajewski. So um, that official end date of the Vigil Group is December 12th. So Hannah will be taking over, but still has some time with an overlap there a little bit with Amber. So,
How did we find Hannah?
oh, how did we find you, Hannah? She's I'll let her answer that one, but she's an expert in her field. And I have to share before she does say how we found her, that I've been so very impressed with her organization, her diligence, her constant asking me questions, just trying to get all the things she needs. And she has this great big plan laid out and a spreadsheet for it. She's so organized, has every detail down to the, anyway, I think you're going to really love Hannah's work. But Hannah, how did we find you? I really don't even know.
So
Probably
I
through
met
Haley.
Yeah. I met Justin at the school business official conference this past fall. And so yeah, we had coffee and kind of did like an introduction and stuff over there. So that's, yeah, just this past September. So, yeah.
Thank you. Well, if Karen is very impressed by you, then that's really good news.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think kind of one of the things you should do is share with and not tonight, but share with the board members your spreadsheet of all things finance tasks and to show to add some credence to what I'm saying. But yeah, I would not speak so highly of anyone if I didn't believe they were worth it. So thank you, Hannah, I'm so excited to have Hannah and Haley, who's doing the payroll on board. Is just a great team, and it's going to be really good.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to work with you all and hope to, yeah, to bring a lot of clarity. So,
That's what we need.
yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
Mhm.
thank you.
Okay, so I guess moving on to our governing council business. If we want to get Pat back, I guess move her to go into closed session and
Well, I think we have some other folks here. They are in the attendees. I'll just share that we have Hannah now, and Katia Pride is here for some marketing presentation later. Miss Matthews, of course, who you need for your closed session, and then Shauna Belay for your construction update, project update. So,
I'll make a motion to move governing council business C. I'm sorry, governing council business D and E in front of the closed session.
Good idea.
Marketing plan and update regarding construction.
Do I need to second?
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so then if we can put Patty on the back burner for a couple of minutes while we move into Katia and Shauna's presentations.
so let me get Katia Pride promoted to the panel. If she's there, let's see.
I'm grateful we're going to have our own business unit. When I talked about it a few months ago, I thought it was not a feasible thing. All of a sudden it happened.
I don't know if Katia's not at her computer now, thinking that she was going to be much. Oh, here she comes. Oh, no, she's not.
So we want.
She declined to be promoted. So let's go to Shauna Belay then for the construction. Doesn't matter the order, right? Shall we just?
No.
Okay, so I'll promote Shauna then to talk about the construction project. Hi, Shauna. You'll have to unmute yourself.
So fences up at the building, so that was good.
It's gutted.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Hello.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Let me share my screen. All right. All right, so today's summary will probably be pretty quick. So I think during the last discussion, we talked a little bit about we hadn't started construction yet, and we're still contingent on some of the cost estimates that we need to resolve before the final construction budget numbers are really finalized. So I'm not going to cover the budget as much today. I think by the next report, we'll have all of the numbers wrapped up to discuss where we are with everything. But there's been a lot of progress made over the past 4 or 5 weeks. So the construction project start date officially started November 10th. I do have some before and after pictures. The demolition team started on November 10th, and they're a really good demolition team. They've made a lot of progress. Here's some before pictures of 7000 Zenith. You can see some of the original structure and spaces. This is the space completely gutted out now. So they've completed the demolition 100%. 99%. There's a few minor items that they'll have to get resolved, but they won't wrap that up until they start the full renovation. But this is the gutted building at this point. So they've removed all of the walls except the walls that are staying as part of the renovation efforts. Removed all of the flooring, ceiling. What you see here, let me zoom in a little bit. What you see here is some of the insulation that they're going to try to maintain and keep as part of the renovation. You also see the kind of sprinkler heads drop down. Sprinkler system is still live. So once they actually start the renovation efforts, then the sprinklers will get relocated according to the new room locations. 6085 Zenith. This one is, I would say, approximately 70% complete today, as of today. This is some of the before pictures. You can see on the outside, there's the landscaping around the building that's since been removed. Here's some of the pictures of the smaller building. This is the larger warehouse building, completely gutted out, flooring removed, ceiling cleaned up. And this is where you can see some of the landscaping's been removed from around the building, where the sidewalk and some of the site infrastructure is going to get expanded. This is the start. They're probably about 50% complete with the smaller building. They have to go in and shore the building because of these are some of the load-bearing walls, so they'll have to go in and shore some of the building before they can start removing some of these walls. So that's what they're working on next. Overall, 85% complete with demolition. I would say probably in about a week and a half to 2 weeks, they're going to be completely wrapped up with everything. We are waiting. So the 6085 building permit plans, construction plans have been 100% completed. We've reviewed the plans. They're a good plan set. Doug's group did a good job. We submitted back maybe about a total of 6 or 7 comments. But the plan set has been submitted for permit. So we are waiting for the city of Rio Rancho to issue the permit for the 6085 building. The 7000 permit submittal is anticipated to be complete by the 10th of December. They had to add some additional structural reinforcement to the plans. So they're maybe about a week and a half behind on wrapping up those plan sets. But at the rate that they're going with the construction, if their subs, keep doing a good job like they did for the demolition, I'm not worried about the schedule. Couple of things. The FF&E, I know Jackie mentioned that is one thing that we need to make some more progress on over the next month to determine which vendor we're going to use and secure cost estimates for that. We did. I'll pull up these drawings here. Let's see. These are the low voltage drawings that we put together based on the plan sets on where all access control, cameras, WAPs, and Cat6 data drops are going to be located in all of the buildings, among a few other things. So based on this information that we put together, we worked with the school's third-party low voltage vendor Halo to provide cost estimates, which we just received last week. We did get, let me go back to the report. So we did get their preliminary cost estimates. We reviewed them and we're going to need feedback and a number of questions answered before we wrap up the cost estimates for the low voltage. So because the low voltage is going to be, the low voltage in the fire system is going to be contracted to the third-party vendor Halo, we do need to work with Mick Rich, the general contractor, on deletions and credits that are going to have to be given back to his schedule. So that's what we're working through right now. In terms of fiber and data connectivity, we did discuss, and because we want to run, we have a dedicated fire line that needs to be run between the buildings. And we're going to need fiber run to all of the buildings. What we've decided is probably the best option is to actually bore conduit 80 scheduled PVC between the buildings and run dedicated fiber and a conduit that we can run interduct for the fiber between the buildings, as well as a dedicated fiber line that will be tied to a main fire panel at the main building. So at 6095 will be where the primary fire panel will be located, and there'll be sub panels located in the other buildings. So that's the direction that we're going right now. And we're working with vendors to get cost estimates to run the fiber between the buildings. So hopefully by the next report, we'll have all of those cost estimates wrapped up.
Is that all underground?
And let's see. Upcoming work will be the construction renovation. The goal is to start this month as soon as both of the permits are approved. I know that Mick's team, the general contractors team, is, they just got the construction plans about a week and a half ago for 6085. So they're wrapping up their review on those plans. And unless there's specific questions, I don't know what else. I don't have anything else to cover with the group today, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Did we get a final budget in regards to all of the work, even including the current school 6090? Because I know we were still like, are we going to have them do construction here, or are we scrapping it? I think that was still in limbo the last time we met. And now knowing that if we might not have a budget and operational to save FF&E, that was going to be my next question. Do we start looking at reduction of the work? And I already assumed that was going to be something on the plate to take off. I didn't know if we had anything from like a solid, this is what we're looking at. And are we meeting that budget of 7 million or whatever it was?
Yeah, I mean, because we, if you recall, one of the things that we talked about removing was the 370,000, which is part of the 7,000 budget, was removing that 370,000 completely and repurposing that for the additional costs for the plumbing in the 6090 building that we discussed, as well as some of the reinforcement on the building that wasn't anticipated, on both buildings now that wasn't anticipated. So I think there's enough money here to use for the repurpose. It also includes the site improvements like the ADA ramp between the two buildings, between 7,000 and 6090, as well as some utility upgrades. There's going to have to be additional utility connections directly to the city's connection at the 6085 location. So Jackie, the short answer to your question is the numbers are not finalized yet. Okay. And some of the site improvement details have not been available until the construction plan sets were submitted. So like the bus access permit and some of the utility connections were finalized in the construction plan set that Mick just got a week and a half ago. So they're working on the numbers right now. I would say definitely by the next board meeting, we should have all of those numbers wrapped up.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
No questions.
Thank you. If there's no other questions, then we can let you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you,
Okay.
Shauna.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, see you next
Thanks, Shauna.
time. Have a good holiday.
You too. Okay.
Sorry, I'm muted. Let me see if Katia can come to the panel now. Oh, I think she may have been at another information session at another school, and so she just declined again. So um, I can call her and either ask her to drop off for now, and I'll let her know when to come back, or you can all go to another meeting room, whichever you prefer to do. Because then that only leaves Miss Matthews and Hannah and me.
Whatever is the easiest for you, and without delay, so this way we can go into Patty's
Yeah, 'cause that
presentation.
might take, I'd like to get that one done for sure.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah, so
very
let me
important.
move I guess my question would be, let me move Patty to the panel, and then Hannah left, so I guess she's not gonna hang around. So
I don't know.
if you don't want me present, um you, I mean, I guess
that's fine. You're
you
fine.
could mute yourself. Oh no, then Chris and Skip can't hear. So if I'm fine, then I'll just call Katia and ask her to drop off, and then you could just do it here and I'll watch the attendees. Is that
That
acceptable?
works. Yep, thank you.
Okay, so let me well, can you first take a vote to go into closed session so I could then pause the recording?
I'll make a motion to now go into closed session.
I'll second it.
So we need to go to the different web link.
We're gonna stay here.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move that we now come out of closed session.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so during closed session, we had items to consider whether the Explorer Academy Rio Rancho Governing Council should acquire our current school site at 6090 Zenith Court in Rio Rancho, 80144, consisting of approximately 50,000 square foot of building space on approximately 7.84 acres, as well as to acquire 2 additional buildings to be renovated for our school's expansion located at 6085 Zenith Court, and which that building is roughly 14,906 square feet on 1.22 acres, and 7,000 Zenith Court in Rio Rancho, consisting of approximately 20,000 square feet on a 2.3 acre site. We plan on doing this through a lease purchase agreement with EAF Rio Rancho LLC, a Texas limited liability company. And we have been provided with a summary of the lease purchase arrangements, terms and conditions, a copy of the proposed lease purchase arrangement with exhibits prepared by our attorney, as well as a document describing the source of funds to make the scheduled rent payments, and a copy of the proposed resolution concerning the lease purchase arrangement. That was a mouthful. So that was what we discussed during closed session, and now we will make a motion to approve the, no, I have not made it. I'll make the motion to approve to adopt the resolution of the Explorer Academy Rio Rancho, wherein the council authorizes the execution of the lease purchase arrangement with EAF Rio Rancho, a Texas LLC, on the condition that the lease purchase arrangement is approved by the New Mexico Public Education Department as presented to us by staff and our legal counsel.
I'll second the motion.
We didn't hear you, Skip. I saw your mouth move, but we didn't hear you.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. We just invested $31 million into our growing
No pressure.
school facility. So
Yes, we did.
Okay, so,
It's a lot of money.
yeah. So,
$31 million.
Karen, did you get,
Katia.
Katia? I always want to say Katya because my neighbors, it says it the same way, and she says it Katya, but it's spelled the same way, so.
Tia?
I just called Katia to tell her to jump back in, so I didn't realize that we were ending the closed session. So on the agenda, the next item did say the lease purchase agreement, but you just took care of all that, right? And then
Yes.
was there any, while we're waiting for Katia to arrive, she said she was here the whole time and did not see anything about joining the meeting before. And so I don't know what happened with the decline notice that popped up. But in any case, while we're waiting for her to join, was there anything else to discuss on the school calendar or no?
I think
Are
at
we
this
just going to
point, we're
wait to
still
hear?
waiting. We need to find out from Amber solid numbers as we can make that decision, but right now,
And
I think we're leaning
deadlines,
towards,
yeah.
yeah. And as far
But
as
Jackie, don't we have to at least fix the December 29th date?
Oh, that's already taken off. That's what, so
Okay,
when she
okay.
asked me if we had school on December 29th, I was like, no. And so by me saying no,
that's a start.
that's what lost
Okay,
us money. Because
I see. Okay.
like,
I just want to make sure. After we
no,
talked about that excuse me, after we talked about that earlier, I was thinking, well, wait a minute, there was the December 29th date. But okay,
no.
that's already
She already
off.
fixed that, yeah, that, because when
If it
she
was on the
emailed
calendar,
me,
nobody showed up.
right, we should have left it. We should have left it. Hindsight, never mind. Never mind. While we're waiting, I don't know if you guys know, but we did move into spotlight category from our vistas, and so we did move up in designation for assessments from NAMASA. And I don't know if we shared that with you, but that was public in November 12th. And I know we've,
Oh, so is the public Vista site updated?
it is. So we
Nice.
did move up in designation.
Very good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good, very
Kudos.
good.
Is that all that, since we're waiting, is that all that you had underneath school leader?
I was
report?
not going to share because
It's
I
here.
knew
It's gonna be long.
it was going to be long. Whenever we have Patty, it's long.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew it was going to be cold.
So
Hi,
Katia's
Katia.
here.
Was that snow or rain on the picture?
Snow at my house.
Snowing, oh, it says it's snowing.
No.
Hi, Katia.
Katia's got to unmute.
Hi, yes, I'm here. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why it wasn't alerting me, but I got it this time. So I'm here. Am I good to dive into my piece?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. I am gonna share my screen. I'm gonna go over a little bit of kind of the proposed marketing plan, what we're looking at doing, and taking some, ideas, things that we want to see for the upcoming recruitment season. So with marketing, we've tried the past few years, right, to not, we've worked off of word of mouth, right, working with the public, doing all the free stuff, posting in different active groups, kind of working more of the organic side of social media. And so now we are, I'm hoping you can see my screen because I can't see it on that end, but hopefully you're looking at our marketing dashboard right now.
We
and
are,
what-
and
yes.
it shows a spreadsheet with a bunch of numbers.
Perfect. That's exactly what I mean. It shows on my end, so I can't. All I see is pictures. So perfect. So what we're proposing as we move forward, especially now that we're moving into the high school grades, it's going to be really important that we start actively recruiting those kids and getting on a rotating, well, not rotate, but like a continuous schedule of just marketing. Now, it doesn't have to look right consistent money-wise through the year. There are obviously times that we can take it down a little bit if budget calls for and change things up. But this is the proposed plan that we are looking at this time. Again, this is just proposed. We can always change things around. Part of my job is to watch the trends when we pay for media, be able to look at our our reach, I don't watch impressions too hard. I watch them, but not as much as I do our reach. But reaching out to the unique audiences, things like that, and we can always move money around based on the trends we see, as well as our needs. So I'll just dive right into the proposal. Looking at campaigns, you can see the digital campaigns. Looking at social media and Google ads, we did have an idea to shift some of this YouTube ad money just because with YouTube, we would have to find a video that meets their specifications and have a whole entire video created. That does cost extra money as well as extra time. So for now, this YouTube ads would shift back up into social media, meaning Facebook, Instagram, all those things, and then as well as Google AdWords, and a Google Direct banner, which if you don't know, those are like stagnant ads. What I can do is go into the system. I see IP addresses and how you can narrow it down to just about anything. Age, web searches. I mean, it can even go as far as, preference on, cars. Like it can show you all kinds of different metrics. So we target those to pop up in accordance with our social media ads based on IP address. So looking at that, about the price per week right now, I started it off at $200 at 30 weeks. That would just be to, kind of see where we're at. I put them both at $200 with $100 at YouTube ads. And then again, we can see which ones we get more traction with, whether that be the Google ads or the social media ads. I can show you, we did go ahead and start running some advertisements for, well, this was just a boosted post, it wasn't technically. It was an advertisement, but not out of our ads account. But we just boosted it for our upcoming info session. And right now we are looking at, we've had 19,234 views and our reach is at 7,919. So, and that's it. We have not spent our budget yet. We are at, let me see, let me update this. My daily budget right now is set at $15 over the course of 19 days. So it will end on the 10th, on the day of the actual info session. So right now that's pretty good numbers. Our social media presence is getting much, much better. Our organic content's really building our SEO score. So it's looking much, much stronger this school year. So that, again, that's the whole point of that, is just saying when we see these trends, we're able to kind of shift those around. So those are just kind of some preliminary numbers right now that can be moved around. But total, looking in social media and digital ads, around 15,000 would be what I recommend we start with, just to kind of get our feet off the ground. Moving into single expenses, this is like we do have a date for the school choice fair, and we are signed up, and I believe it is January 24th. So we will be there with our own table, completely set up separate from any other Explore Academy. And it's always just good to have some kind of candy, things that they can kind of tangible take with them. There is some of the swag items, but they're more towards the bottom. But this is just for, again, if we need flyer holders. I'm not sure if we still have them. So just little supplies like that to make our table look nice. So that's estimated around $51. Print media and literature. This is another one that could change depending on how much we need and how much we have left over from this enrollment season. Just having those flyers, those postcards, those will go hand in hand with our school choice fair. They sit in the front office for when tours are happening, and parents can come in and just take information if the office is busy and they can't get questions answered. That's always a good way for them to just get in touch with me at outreach, or be able to schedule a separate meeting with me or anyone on site. Moving forward, we have put in a request for addresses for a mailer. We have seen, or I have seen in the past, very good return when you have the social component of it's popping up on your social media. Then you also have the tangible mail piece. So we've seen good return with that. I proposed a mass one, meaning grades, all grades offered K through 9 in January. Once that goes out, I did put in for 2. It's a potential that we would only need 1. But the reason I always recommend doing 2, 1 in January, 1 in March, is so that then in March we can turn around and target just the families that we are looking at. So if we have grades, like if we only have space in grades 6 and 7, we can target students in grade level 6 and 7. What we do is we change the social media targets to match, right, our target for the main. So again, we're kind of using those two to play in together to really get that name recognition out there. We can plan for just 1 if we find that budget is, it's tight. We don't feel like we really need it. We're only low in 1 grade level. We'd rather put that money elsewhere. It's always possible to plan for just 1. And then other some swag items. Again, these are just items that we've looked at or that have been priced out. I'm happy to take any suggestions on this. We can change the swag items out. We can get quotes for different things. These are just things that I think I typically look for things that stay around, or if they get lost, others will take them and give them a home. So like pens, right? If you leave a pen on a table or someone accidentally takes your pen, then they have our name going with them. So it's actually kind of a reusable marketing idea. The chapstick is honestly just affordable, and I find that people do hold on to chapstick, right, because they use it all the way through to the end. An idea that was mentioned were magnets for cars, like the bumper magnets. And so I priced it out for staff. Again, if we want to go bigger, we want to go smaller, we don't want to do magnets. But it's always good, and I think we need to move in the direction of having our staff really also promoting us. Because they're going to be, right, our biggest, be able to talk the most about the model, the most about what they've seen in the students, and all of those, positive things. So whether that looks like, department shirts and shirts that say, I teach at Explore Academy, and it has, what they teach, all the way to, again, the magnets. I've seen teacher bags that they carry around. So starting kind of on the small scale of the staff, and then eventually, right, you could move out into giving them to families or giving them to out at kindergarten graduation, things like that, that just kind of double as a swag item, but also help us get our current families marketing for us. I am also pricing out and have been working on pricing out billboards. One tricky thing with billboards, there's several tricky things, but one main tricky thing with billboards is measuring our actual reach. So with billboards, I struggle because there's no way, they can say they saw our billboard, and a lot of the times that's fantastic. It gets our name out there. But the hard part is actually getting them to see the emotional component with the billboard. And so I've never really seen a great return with billboards. But I have reached out to get quotes for what's available in the area. And I do have all of that information located in here. So once, I met with Lamar this week, and once we've solidified and they've sent me kind of that proposal, then I can add it in there and sit down and either put it in here for the board's review. I can come to the next board meeting. I just unfortunately did not get that information fast enough to add it into the actual quote. And looking at location again, we're looking at the main roads in and out of Rio Rancho, both on the Bernalillo side as well as more towards the Albuquerque side. So that's the proposal. Overall, we're looking at about $21,684.50. Again, it does not have to be, we can move funds. It doesn't have to be all at once. And we would really watch for what's actually working for us, and not just put money, out into the wind. And especially with our upcoming, buildings and different changes that the school is making, it's going to be really important that we start, marketing that type of stuff. And with the social media marketing, that's why that's the highest, because it's easiest there to be able to put things like that into the marketing, to change it, on a continuous basis. So that's why there's not as much print, or as much, billboards, if we go with a digital billboard, it's much easier to change. We just have to be careful with digital billboards. I like to make sure we monitor what other ads are running on that same billboard, just for, visual purposes. But those would probably be my recommendations if we do decide that billboards are going to be the way to go. I would say digital so that we can change our message, add our info dates in there, make sure they're knowing different ways to find out about us. As far as organic content goes, I am working on parent testimonials. I don't know if the board knows this, but Google actually did away with reviews on our Google account. So Google reviews are no longer a thing for schools as a whole. So they felt like it was not getting, for schools, they weren't impacting positively. So they actually took that feature away. So we no longer have Google reviews, but we can use niche reviews. So I'm working with niche to get a code so that we can post it up front at the front desk, send it out to parents, and boost those scores. The scores look good. We just need some more, I don't want to say more positive, but more reviews in the upper grade levels. Our elementary reviews are looking good, but we need some more in the upper grade levels. So we're working towards that. Boosting our organic content, like I said, that search engine optimization, making sure that we're popping up right at the top when they search, charter schools, things like that. And that's what those reviews and that organic content is really going to push. So I will stop talking and I will go ahead and if anyone has any questions, anything like that, I'm happy to answer anything or take suggestions. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I do think that it's necessary to, obviously we need to start planning this out so this way we can increase our population and make these lease payments that are going to be coming up quickly. So I agree that we need to do some marketing. It's something that obviously is my background, but it's something that I've been saying that we should have been doing for a while now. So, so thank you very much. Do we need to vote on this budget now, or is it just something that this is presentation-wise?
I don't know if we have the full budget for this right now, so I think we'll have to talk about.
Where the money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have some questions for Katia. Obviously, this is my background too. So for the sake of time, though, I can certainly take it offline and shoot those over in an email. There a couple of the numbers, just I have questions about, and then just kind of what marketing we've done over the last 2 years, and how much money's been spent, on like social media and stuff like that, so we can kind of try to compare it to previous.
Yeah. So I can pull those numbers, Chris. Complete disclosure, like we have not spent a lot. A lot of the budget has been just like free. Me going to different businesses, Jackie and setting up at Highlands and having info sessions, and it has not been a lot. It's gone back into the budget just because we haven't wanted to take. We've been working off of a very, very, very thin margin. But there are a few of them that I can pull, and I can pull the data from this last one that we're running now just to show, that's kind of what I was basing my numbers off of. And I went a little bit on the low end, again, just to see if we wanted to shift those numbers around. But I know right now, I just want to get it started. And I know right now, we're trying to figure out the budget and everything else. But yeah, I'm happy to answer anything.
Yeah, Chris,
and take ideas.
An FYI, basically, Rio Rancho hasn't done any marketing, any mass marketing, other than what Katia just mentioned as far as those things. Albuquerque has been doing a lot of marketing over the years, and obviously their attendance, their population has increased dramatically. So.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, I looked, the only paid ad that I saw, I think, was the one that you showed us. And it looked like it was started like November 21st or something like that. So, I can shoot over some questions for you. I've got, I'd be curious, like what pricing is like on, at the movie theaters, the pre-roll videos before the previews and stuff like that versus like a billboard, some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing about that, I mean, again, I've done movie theater ads before. The one thing about that is also production cost. So in-house, we don't have the equipment to produce an ad that they need at that scale up. So that would be, I mean, I can get a quote from, someone and we
We
can
just
see
need
about
to
what it
revisit this
make
in
that, but that would
January.
also go, that's kind of why I was
Audit.
staggering away from anything that made us have to take in big production costs until we saw a rise in enrollment where we had the money to do that. Because realistically, right, you're going to have to do it multiple times. But for now, we could set it in a way that we only do it once, and then that's our ad that runs without having to hit, production costs. Oh, no, now we need to change. Now we're not grades K to 9 anymore. Now we're K to 10. Now we're K to 11. So every year that ad will have to have changes or edits from production. And with movie theaters, it's very high resolution type stuff that I personally don't have that experience with.
I know that one thing that we're facing at the Albuquerque site is that retention piece. So moving forward, I know that as a board, we probably want to keep that in the back of our mind on how to retain those upper grades, because I know we lose a lot between sophomore and those seniors that graduate. They want to go back to their original schools or participate in sports or whatever, and we lose them. And so moving forward, marketing and then getting people in, but keeping them as well.
I think we're gonna see that with the 8 tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
Jackie
common, I was just going to say that that's a common predicament, if you will, for charter schools across the state. It's not unusual to lose kids, particularly from that 8th to 9th. And then another thing that's been happening, I think, at the school where you work, Skip, is that kids then get ahead of credits and then they leave and go graduate early somewhere else
Yes.
where it's easier and less
Yes.
rigorous. So yeah, there are a lot of retention issues to be aware of, especially as you add the upper grades. It's a little bit easier. Same in Albuquerque with the lower grades. It's not really a retention issue, but that high school break right there is a big one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we'll probably see that drop off in 8th grade. That has been seen, at other charters, and I think that's why I think it's very important for all of us to make sure we have some budget set aside for marketing every single year, even if it's a small budget, but something that just makes sure we are continuously putting that message out there. We've been able to get by, with spending minimal and being able to, keep that money back in the budget. But now that we're looping into, the higher grades, and even boosting those 6 and 7 numbers, but making sure that our name is just constantly year round popping up for our families is going to be a huge piece moving forward.
All right, well, thank you very much. And I know that Chris mentioned that he'll send some ideas over to you and contact more, and then we'll start planning out what we can, budget-wise, what we can spend.
Perfect.
And in terms of board decisions, most of these items would be things that Jackie can approve, but I think it's just a matter of keeping the board informed about the marketing. I think there've been some questions, but most of this doesn't actually need a board approval to proceed. Ms. Bogue could approve it, but I think it's important for you all to know and to brainstorm about what your best options are. So.
Okay, thank
Thank you.
And if there's any events or anything you all feel that I need to know, please feel free to email, call, text, anything, and just let me know, and we can reach out, get quotes, participate, all those things, because it helps a lot when it's a team of us out there looking and being able to, send ideas and things. So that always, I always ask for that.
And while you're there, Katia, I have some postcards that Justin had ordered today for Aliop, and I was hoping that Karen was going to be here in person, that I could give them to her, but I don't know if you wanted to pick them up or send somebody to pick them up.
Yeah, no problem. I will figure that out.
Great.
Are they needed before next week? Because if not, I could pick them up in Rio Rancho on Monday.
I think
I'm assuming it might be for the conference next week.
Yes, it is for the conference.
And I'm going to that. So
okay,
if you want to just leave them there with Jackie, I could pick them up there.
Okay, very good.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Katia.
Bye, Katia.
Thanks, Katia.
Okay, so we basically covered Jackie on administration. Karen, you have any additional updates or reminders?
Oops, hold on. I think somehow Katia stayed and skipped that bump. Hold on.
Go.
Let me move skip. When
Skip said he
people
was
talk, it
leaving and gonna go
changes.
eat.
Yeah, I need him back. So he's coming back. Um, so what happens is as I have to click on a name and send them to the attendees, if somebody talks, the order sometimes changes and then the wrong
Um,
person gets sent away. So Skip, I didn't mean to dump you. Sorry about
It's
that.
all right. You're lucky I came
Um,
back.
I thought that might happen. So I don't really have, I know Jackie, I didn't hear what you said. I think you're not sharing anymore. Is that what I heard or?
Nope,
Okay.
I'm
I did
not.
add in the minutes that about the spotlight and then that it's posted on Vistas with a link. So the minutes will have that link for y'all. I don't have an update from Alliop because it is December 3rd and I didn't get it yet from everybody. So the only thing I had was, of course, my naggy reminders about governing board training. And I will just say that the links are on the second page of at the end of the agenda and the end of the minutes if you want to check your status. But kudos to Kathy Garden and Gloria Rich who have completed all their required hours for this year.
Of course they
Yay.
have.
Yeah,
we'll
but
get them the trophy.
they are so diligent. But the rest of you, remember, I'll keep nagging you, but we have until end of May is the goal, right? That's all.
Great. Any additional board comments?
No, thank you.
There's still nobody in public, so with that, I will make a motion to adjourn. Our next scheduled meeting is January 28th at 5:15. And unless we have to have a special meeting prior to that, that's when our next scheduled meeting is. And I wish everybody a happy holiday and a happy new year. And I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.